Welcome to the Bold and Brave Collective. I'm Faye Lynne, your host, and I'm happy to introduce you today to today's guest, Reverend Beth Waddell. Hello, Beth.
Hi, Faye Lynne.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thanks.
Excited to tell your story?
Oh, well, a little bit of it, sure.
For sure. Okay, if Beth is new to you, then let me tell you some of the reasons why she's here on the Bold and Brave Collective. She's an ordained minister with the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada, with 40 years experience in pastoral roles across Ontario. She's also a hub director for Alpha Canada and is passionate about helping Jesus followers discover their spiritual gifts. Beth's accomplishments are a testament to her bold and brave leadership. Wow, you sound pretty fancy. You sound like somebody that's bold and brave. Okay, let's get started. So what would you say would be a defining moment in your life where you just made a decision to make a bold move? Where did things start for you?
Yeah, well, it started way back many years ago, Faye.
As we noticed.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
And thanks for the opportunity to share a little of my journey. My first defining moment actually really came when I was around 18, 19 years old. I was working in a newly created job for the largest school board here in Ottawa. And the position provided me with incredible experiences. There was a clear career path to a really bright future. I was on my way. I thought I was on it. Mm-hmm. But as a person of faith, as I spent time in personal prayer during my devotional times, I just felt a strong prompting that God was nudging me to pursue theological training. I had only known personally of one other female that had gone down this path, and she was working vocationally, serving in a local church in the Northwest Territories.
Oh, wow.
And so she wasn't easy to connect with, just to find out what this was all about. So in my own praying and pondering and talking out to the prompting of God with a mentor, I decided that I would take a bold step to apply to school and trust God with whatever might come.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. What I truly had no clue what I was getting myself into, but I really felt compelled to walk away from the career path that was before me, that was bright, and to respond to this call of God that was to prepare for ministry.
Wow. And so I suppose it was like smooth sailing from that moment on. No obstacles. You just went, boom.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Let's see what you faced.
Yeah. So one obstacle came actually immediately in preparing to apply for theological training. Growing up in the church, I knew that there were not many females actively serving as pastors. And with that reality in mind, I knew that I would need all the support possible. And so I shared with my parents, who are Jesus followers, my plans to leave my position with the school board, and I was seeking their support for the journey. As I shared those plans with my parents, to my surprise, I did not get their full-hearted support. My father actually firmly challenged me that I needed to stay in the field that I was in, that had for growth and financial security, especially as a single female. My mom, she didn't say a word in our time together, and that threw me off because we do have a great relationship. So we ended that meeting. We were at a stalemate. I just did not know what I was going to do because it did not end the way I had anticipated.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah. And so it was like, okay, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
Because I really understood, even at that young age, that I needed their support emotionally, prayerfully, maybe even financially, because I really didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Right.
And so the obstacle was, how will I gain the support of my parents to move on? I walked away discouraged, disillusioned, and I just went to God in prayer. And I said, you've got to help me with this some way, somehow. You've got to work out these details. If this is what you truly want me to do, you have to help me.
Yes.
And God is so good. He is so faithful.
Yes,
because he, through a series of circumstances, only that he could orchestrate, brought a female Bible college student across my path.
Oh, wow.
She was in school, and so I just shared my heart with her, shared of the obstacle that I was facing with my parents, and she came back to me and challenged me to approach my employer to seek a leave of absence for the school semester that would allow me the safeguard of returning to my job if school didn't work out.
Wow, that's smart. That was excellent. That was God, right?
But that was God. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to understand, I worked for the director of education of the school board.
Wow.
So I was aware of their policies, and I knew that they had a provision for leave of absences for their teaching staff only.
Right.
There was no such provision for administrative staff. And so when she said this to me, I said, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
They do it for teaching, but they won't do it for administrative. And she
Right.
said, well, what do you have to lose? Go ask. And so I went and I said, okay, if this is really meant to be, what do I have to lose?
Yes.
So I submitted a letter requesting a leave of absence, indicating I knew that there was no policy, but could there be an exception made? And to my surprise, administration made the provision for me. And they actually, at that time, adopted a new policy for all administrative staff to be able to apply for leave of absences to pursue further education with the understanding that they would hold your position.
That is amazing. Oh, so they actually did that? They made that change?
They made the change. Yeah, it was the introduction. Wow. Yeah. So with that, then I went back to my parents.
Yes.
And my dad in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared the news of the provision of a leave of absence. And so said, okay, my job will be secure if this whole school gig doesn't pan out. And so there wasn't much he could say at that point because he recognized that God was in this. And it wasn't until later that my mother disclosed to me privately that God had been preparing her heart in the months and weeks prior to me ever talking to them, that she would have to release me, that there were greater things in store for my life.
Seriously? Wow. And you had no idea that those...
I had no idea.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
No. And so that just brought another level of confirmation for me that I was on the right step, that I was moving in the direction that God wanted me to go. And so having their support, I headed off to theological school and trusting that he was going to lead me along the way.
Oh my goodness. Wow. What a great way to have overcome that obstacle. It's like, and not on your own, right? It's through God. It's through prayer. And that's so when someone says to you, I know I should be doing this, or I have this bold thing I want to do, then how would you encourage a woman to say, step up and do it? Even though there are those obstacles, things are going to happen. How did you stay brave?
Yeah. Oh, well, there were days, believe me, because again, as a single female in ministry, it's not an easy road. And so there were days where I felt challenged and had my doubts, hit significant obstacles along the way. But I have just learned, as Hebrews 11:1 says, that faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we don't see. And there were things I didn't see. I didn't know where I was going, but I just came back to what had propelled me in the first place to move forward. And it was this prompting of God, this inspiration that had come to me that I needed to go in this path. And so I'd encourage ladies in particular that if you have a dream, a hope, and that there's something that is there, that you take those steps. Obviously, you got to do your homework.
Right.
You've got to talk to mentors, gain as much wisdom, do your due diligence, but it's to take that step. And by no means did I have all the pieces in place. If I knew today what I knew back then, or vice versa, if I knew back then what I know today, rather. It would be like, my word, I'm really not sure we would have done all of this. Yeah. But that's it. We may not have all the pieces in place and have the full picture of what's ahead of us. But it's to keep taking the steps towards your goal.
Those steps.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, do you think, do you think it's easier, not easier, I guess, well, maybe easier now for women that are stepping into your field than it was back then? Or have you seen a significant change? What do you think?
There has been a change. And so more and more females are walking into this area, and that's great to see. And they have boldness and a confidence that they know they're on the right path. And it's so great to see. It's such an encouragement that they are going for it, and that's the great thing about it. Yeah,
That's
not
good.
holding back.
That's wonderful. I wonder, like, do you ever have opportunity to walk with some of these women and just to like tell them what it was like before, kind of thing? Do you ever get those
Yeah,
chances?
yes, I do.
Do
Yeah,
you?
and it's just to encourage them, because
Yes.
they're going to hit, like any job, like any
Yes.
position, you're going to
Yes.
hit some obstacles and roadblocks, and it's just to remain open
Yeah.
to what it is and work through it, gain support from other people. There's other people that have gone through things. And so just,
Right.
seek them out. And then when weighing out all that wisdom, and then it's to say, okay, how am I going to move forward with this?
Wow, that's cool. And I
Yeah.
guess the other thing I was thinking about was, so then after that happened and you kept moving forward, did your parents, like especially your dad, did he sort of soften to the whole idea as he saw things unfold and just saw that you moved in that way?
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
no question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had their support.
Yeah.
They were cheerleaders for me all along. And so I'm so thankful for that, because they definitely were an undergirding for me in the
Yeah.
obstacles that I did face. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow, cool. So I think that you have encouraged women to have like that, even when doubts and fears come, just keep on going, because I think it's all the key that we already know in our hearts that we have this thing to do, right? So when these obstacles come, it's not that they're going to stop us. It's how are we going to get past that obstacle? So each time something happens, just keep on going forward and moving forward, especially when you feel a call on your life, like something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
like I say, you're not going to have all the pieces together, right?
Yes.
Some of us are wired that we want to have all of it settled before we take that step. We just
Yes.
need that confidence that we've got it all
Yes.
figured out.
Yes.
I think it's Dr. Martin Luther King that said, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and it is, because you don't know everything
don't.
that you don't.
Yeah.
But it's to say, okay, I'm going to take one step at a time and just see where this goes. And I would just say, be bold, be brave,
Yes.
do it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. Fantastic. It's just like just thinking that I can't believe that's 40 years ago that you took that step, like literally, like that's amazing.
Literally.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
It's hard to believe. And as I
Yes.
say, there have been some challenging days, but
Yeah.
I'm here.
Wow. That's cool. I'm wondering if it's okay with you if we can just put all your information in our show notes, and that way, if there is a woman that's feeling a call and wants to talk to someone, would that be okay with
Yeah,
you? We'll have that in there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I just have one little question for you that was not part of the plan, and hopefully
Okay.
it puts a little smile on your face and everyone's faces. If you could have a theme song play every time you walked into the room, what would it be? What would it be and why?
My word.
I know this is just way out there just to catch you off guard and think about what would you think a good theme song would be for you.
My goodness.
I know.
And I really know a lot of songs. Yeah.
It could be one of those golden oldies from 40 years ago. I mean, come on.
I'd like to hope that I bring sunshine to people's lives. So it'd be
Well,
like
there you
dancing in
go.
sunshine, right?
Oh, good.
Yeah. That try to encourage people as much as I can along the way. So I would hope that would be something that.
Nice. That's perfect. That's perfect. Walking in sunshine with
Walking
the
on sunshine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for being with us, Beth. I appreciate hearing a little bit of your story. And everyone out there, I just really would like you to listen to more of the stories that you hear on the Bold and Brave Collective. Other women like this that have made those bold moves. In the meantime, until we see you again, stay bold and brave. Thanks again, Beth. Hey there, Bold and Brave viewers. Wow, wasn't Beth Waddell's story just incredible? From taking the leap of faith at 18 to paving the way for women in ministry, her journey reminds us that courage and trust can move mountains, even when the path isn't clear. If Beth's story sparked something and you don't miss our next episode for more inspiring tales of women stepping boldly into their calling, you can connect with Beth through the details in the show notes, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop me a message and share your own bold move with us. Until next time, keep shining bright, stay brave, and let's keep lifting each other up. This is Faye Lynne signing off from the Bold and Brave Collective. See you soon.